All right, guys, a big weekend at the box office coming up. I'm here with Devin O'Leary of the weekly Alibi. Let's jump right into this one. There has been a lot of anticipation around this first film. We're talking about a highly anticipated adaptation. Of course, we're talking about Gone Girl. Let's take a look.
As you all know, my wife, Amy Elliott Dunn, disappeared 3 days ago.
All right, so this book, hugely popular.
Yes.
Gillian Flynn
Runaway
is,
bestseller.
yeah, absolutely, runaway bestseller, and this has been on my must-read list for like a year and a half. So I gotta read this book before I see this movie.
You got till this afternoon.
I got till this afternoon. I'm gonna be busy this afternoon. So let's talk about Gone Girl.
Yeah, well, it's directed by David Fincher, who gave us Seven and Fight Club, so that gives you some idea of the intensity of this film. It stars Ben Affleck, Rosamund Pike, Neil Patrick Harris, great cast. Ben Affleck plays a husband who gets married, and then his wife goes missing, and then of course the media descends on his house, and then there starts to be all this speculation, well, maybe he was involved in her disappearance. And the whole general idea is that you don't necessarily know the people that you're involved with, the people that you're married to, that when you fall in love or start dating someone, you put on a sort of different face than you really sort of have, and the question is, you know, who's doing what in this? And so it's a very much a dark, really intense, very twisty crime thriller. And you've got a fantastic A-list director, you've got some great stars, and this is going to be a big one for the weekend for sure, especially among people who've read the book, obviously. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, well, there's also one coming up that if you're not afraid of dolls, you're going to be afraid after this one. Let's talk about Annabelle.
John, wake up.
What's it?
Next door, I heard a scream.
Stay here. Go check it out.
John? Is everything all right?
Oh my God, you're covered in blood.
Go back inside. It's not mine. It's not. Go back inside and call the ambulance right now.
All right, so here's the thing. I have hated dolls like the Annabelle kind of doll or any sort of large doll since Poltergeist.
Yes,
since that spooky clown doll.
Yes.
And this one is right up there. I think they should get married. So let's talk about Annabelle. This movie is
this is actually
super creepy.
This is a spin-off of The Conjuring, which was a small horror film that came out a couple years ago. They made 2 of them. Very popular. It's a very well done ghost story. This has been a big trend lately, these ghost stories. And the Annabelle doll was in that film. It was based on a true story. And that was sort of in the preamble to the film. It was a small segment of it, but it wound up being kind of the memorable part for a lot of people. So rather than any of the actual people who starred in the movie, the doll got the movie deal, apparently.
Funny. Wow. She was so brilliant in it.
The acting was great. Yeah. And so they gave the doll a spin-off. And this is kind of, you know, that takes the doll to a different couple and kind of tells you how the doll got scary and what terrible things happened to this other suburban couple who have this creepy doll in their house. And it takes a little bit from Rosemary's Baby. It's got a little bit of that kind of vibe, you know, sort of the suburban family, the baby, the devil worshippers sneaking into the house and doing terrible, terrible things. It's actually, I think, quite a bit better than it really deserves to be. I mean, you don't expect a lot from a doll movie spin-off of another sort of low-budget ghost film. But it's fairly well done. I think if you're interested in it, if you like being scared by dolls, you know, maybe we found a partner for a new bride for Chucky.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and of course, last but not least, another one that's been getting a lot of buzz. A lot of people talking about this one for a while now, for many different reasons. The adaptation of Left Behind. Let's take a look.
Welcome aboard PanCon Flight 257 to London. Flight time today will be 6 hours and 30 minutes.
I love you.
All right, so tell us about this film.
Well, the Left Behind books were a big deal back in the 90s. They were these evangelical Christian thrillers. And starting in 2000, Kirk Cameron, the actor from Growing Pains, started to adapt them into these direct-to-video thriller series. That petered off after about 3 movies, and somehow the people behind it have brought it back, and they're rebooting it with Nicolas Cage, obviously. They're trying to make it a big deal. They toned down slightly some of the more religious elements to try and appeal to a wider crowd. I'm not necessarily sure that's going to happen. Rebooting this with Nicolas Cage, whose career has been on kind of a downward trajectory lately, it's a little bit of a weird direction to go in. And there are 16 of these books to get through, so I don't know how far we're going to get through this. The basic idea is it's the rapture. All the good Christians have disappeared. Everybody else is stuck on Earth. Nicolas Cage is a pilot who's stuck piloting a plane with nobody on the ground and half his crew gone. It kind of there's not a lot to it because
Yeah.
it's basically the idea is, well, the rapture's happened, people have disappeared, and these people spend the entire film trying to figure out what the heck happened.
Right.
Oh, did
Yeah.
these people turn invisible? What happened?
What happened, yeah.
And it turns out it's the rapture.
So for the full review on this and a recap on all the movies going on, plus everything that is hitting theaters, pick up one of these guys, The Alibi, on newsstands now, or head over to thealibi.com. Stay with us, folks. We're coming back with Cafe Lush.